Welcome back to Next Third, Best Third. We're obviously doing something a little bit different with this episode. I'm Seth Dahl, David's friend. David's the founder and the host of this. He's the one that's always here in the shows. I'm just visiting. I'm just his guest. But we were having a conversation earlier when the camera wasn't rolling, and I was... Our friend who helps us with all this was like, that needs to be on camera. And I was like, well, what if I just ask you to share this? Because David was just sharing some stuff that perfectly encapsulates what Next Third, Best Third is all about. And it's probably something you want to hear from him, who started this and launched this and is going after this. That has everything to do with his dreams as a young boy. David, you were telling us that this whole thing that you're experiencing now at 66 years old, Next Third, Best Third, you're in the best phase of your life, and it's getting better and better, but you're seeing right now the fulfillment of these childhood dreams that you had as a little boy.
Yeah, it's so cool. This all came about, and I've shared this before, but this all came about through real brokenness in my life. 7 years ago, and my life just blew up, and I was just falling apart, and I had this little glimmer of hope come into me one day, saying the next could be better. And out of that, I decided I was going to make the next third of my life the best third of my life. And so this thing has launched from that. But what has come to reality is, so much of this is to get men to dream again.
Yeah.
To take chances, to not be complacent, to push their limits, that kind of thing. And I've just realized that, I'm not just talking about it, right?
Yeah.
We're not just talking about it. And we're not trying to just research, and it's all good, right? We need research. We need to find out all the information about nutrition, all these kind of things. But to be willing to have redemption in your life about your dreams. So when I was a boy, I was about probably 10, 11, 12 years old. In those years, I had three things I really wanted to do with my life. And number one was I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I wanted to broadcast sports. That's it. I just love sports, and had to do it, right?
Yeah.
Number two is I wanted to have my own talk show. I wanted to be a talk show host, kind of like a Jimmy Kimmel or a Johnny Carson for those older people. And then the third thing is I wanted to be a Hollywood actor. And unfortunately, in my life, growing up where I did and the kind of family I had, that was not encouraged. My family had a family business, and it was expected of me to be in the family business. So those dreams just slowly went away, Wow. And to be honest with you, with those dreams going away, I felt like a part of me died.
Yeah, totally.
Really did. I felt like a part of myself died. And it actually affected my identity. It made me feel that my dreams weren't worth it. There was something wrong with me, I wasn't worth it, and I was always going to be maybe a failure or just get by. So here we are, we come all these years later, 50 years later, and we launch Next Third, Best Third, and I find myself, I'm doing a lot of, here I am, my voice is all over the place right now, right?
You're hosting a talk show.
I'm hosting a talk show, and this thing's growing, and so the other day, a friend of ours, well, not just the other day, but a while ago, a friend of ours, Marshall Altman. Marshall is and his wife Jamie have started they're very accomplished actors, Hollywood actors, and they live nearby. They live here in the Austin area. They've been working for 2 years to bring what they call Playhouse West, which is one of the most successful acting studios, I guess, or acting schools in the United States, to the Austin area. And there's 3 of them in the United States, and they have just launched Playhouse. They call it Playhouse ATX.
Yeah.
And so they're training people to be actors. And
yesterday was the first day you went to acting class.
Yeah.
With real Hollywood actors teaching you how to act.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm 66 years old, and I'm taking acting classes. And I'm sitting there in this class last night. It's 3 hours. Now it's 3 hours every Tuesday and Thursday for 2 years.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment, and it's the real deal. And I'm sitting there, and it hit me last night. I'm going, this is amazing, right? It's amazing that my dreams are being fulfilled, even at this age of my life.
Yeah.
So
Did you think 7 years ago that was even possible?
No. 7 years ago, I wasn't sure I was even going to be alive.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no. What I went through in the devastation in my life, I was literally just trying to get by every day. I had to take care of things. I had to take care of my daughters, that were still at home, and I had to. I was surrounded by great people who really encouraged me. But no, I had no vision. I had no vision for anything really, except for getting up,
just making it
through that day.
Were you aware recently, like, is this one of those things that you're like, oh, I started this podcast and it's like a talk show, hosting it and talking. Did you remember that before you started, or did you start it and go, oh, this was my dream as a little boy that I thought was dead?
Yeah, it was that. It was that in the middle of it, I realized it was like I felt really just an awareness, a spiritual awareness come over me where I was like going, wait a minute, this is redemption. This is part of my dream,
Man, was it the same with the acting? Like you're kind of like, well, once this started, you're like, oh, I also want to be an actor. And then Marshall shows up like, I'm going to start an acting school. And you're like,
no, it was funny because once this started, I wasn't like thinking that I was going to take a step into acting. I didn't think that at all. But once Marshall and Jamie came in my life, right? And that's been, what, a year now, something like that. But he and I started talking, and he told me about his dream. And I thought, man, that is so cool. And then one day we went out to eat, and we were talking, and he said that he was going to be starting this. And I was like, man, no, it wasn't. He mentioned he wanted to start it and that he was wanting to, but he actually spoke at a men's breakfast. And at the men's breakfast, not that long ago, about a month ago. And at this men's breakfast, he talked about, and he was so vulnerable about the fear of starting it. And, it was his dream, right? And then as soon as he did that and he got done, I was like, I'm going to take that class, right? So it hit me that morning. I was like, I'm going to do that. And so he and I talked about it. He says, oh, absolutely. He says, you're going to, you'll be great at this. And I was like, I think I will. I think it's going to be great.
I think so. Well, like, what if you become a Hollywood actor? What if you get like in movies after
Wouldn't that be
this,
crazy?
And you're like, my last third of my life, my next third of my life, I saw these dreams fulfilled that I thought were gone.
Yeah.
For 50 years, they were gone.
50 years. It'd been a solid 50 years. And the next third of my life, all of a sudden, all this comes through. And what I hope, besides just the fun ride it'd be, is to really inspire guys.
Yeah.
Because really, that's why dreams are so important.
Yeah.
That's why hope is so important.
It's interesting. One of the things, because I work with parents, and one of the things I tell parents is, when your kids dream, they're like, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a professional baseball player. I want to be the president. When your kids are dreaming, they're not necessarily telling you the job they want to have. They're telling you who they are.
Wow.
Because kids don't dream about if they're like, I want to grow up and be a doctor. If they're small, they're not thinking, I want to make a lot of money and work a ton of hours. They're thinking, I want to help people. Yeah. I want to heal people. I want people to get better. I want to.
Yeah.
So they're telling you something from their identity. They are telling you who they are, not just a job. Firemen, they're telling you, I'm courageous. I'm brave. I want to save people. I want to run into flames. I want to take risk to get people to safety and to help them. I want to be the president. They're telling you, I'm a leader. I'm a challenger. I'm here to take hits and keep going and push back on darkness and try to change things for the better. I'm a leader. They're telling you who they are. And I think there's something powerful, like your story is so powerful for everybody watching to go, no matter what age you are, maybe it's time to ask, what did I want to be when I was a little kid? Before there was money, before there was pain, before there was any of the stuff that tries to knock it out of us and change us from who we really are into who we've become. I think a good question is, what did I want to be when I was a little kid?
That's so good.
What? Because that's your story.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to be this when I was a little kid, and now 60 years later, you're in it in two of those areas.
Yeah.
You're like fully walking them out right now. Maybe you're not in Hollywood yet. Who knows what's going to happen? But you're pursuing this thing that you forgot and it was knocked out of you. I think that's a great place to start to go, whoa, what did I want to be when I was a little kid? Because that's who I really am.
So good.
And maybe I'm not going to be president because I'm 66 years old already or whatever. But where can I lead? Where can I be a leader? Where can I step into them? Okay, maybe I'm too old to be a fireman. It's all right. Where can I be brave? Where do I need to be brave? Where do I need to help people? Where do I need to rescue people and save them? Like, I think that's the goal of this, is for what's happened in your life. And that's the beautiful part of, like, David's not just an information guy, a research guy. He's a practitioner. And practitioners, there's something on their life that you can receive, not just information you can learn or memorize or quote. There's something you can receive. And that's what I think you're putting out there, is to go, I lost who I was. I lost these dreams, but not now. They're back. And they're almost like, it's almost like they came and found you, in a sense.
Absolutely.
Like, and I think that's what your heart in this next third, best third is. Go find those dreams. Dream again. Whether it's your physical health, your relational health. Like, when we lose dreams, we lose our way. Yeah. Like, you have to have a destination, or everywhere you go is an accident. Like, if you do not know where you're going, you're just going to end up somewhere. Like, having a dream is so profound to go, that's where I'm aiming.
So good. And as you're talking, so much of what we talk about and what Next Third, Best Third is about identity, right? What wars against your identity. And dreams, as a young boy, that's really the inner, the real
That's real you. Yeah.
Expressing itself, right? That's who I am. And I'll tell you this, and this has been probably one of the most remarkable things. Not just the fact that I'm stepping into this, but since we launched Next Third, Best Third, and since we've been really intentional about this, I'm more alive. I'm a better David than I've ever been, and I'm more alive than I've ever been, and I'm excited about life. And man, to think about where I was 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, and where I am today, it's like night and day difference.
Wow.
And it's just so cool. But I think it's because my real identity, because as you were saying that, I had never really thought of that before, right? About what you wanted to be when you're dreaming. When I was a little boy saying that, what I thought of was these people were influential, they were inspiring.
Helping people.
They were, there was a dynamic about people, Yes, there was entertainment too.
Yeah.
But it was more of bringing something into people's lives. And that's really who I am.
Well, in sports too, to be a sports broadcaster, you're like, I just want to be around what I love.
Yeah.
It's not about how much money I'm going to make. It's like, what do I love? What do I enjoy? I like baseball. I want to talk about baseball. Like, give me a microphone and let me talk about baseball and tell you all the players. And I love the players. Like, I love the game. Yeah. It's all about love. It's what you're passionate about. It's what you care about, not about how much money am I going to make from that job? No, kids aren't thinking that.
No.
They're thinking, what makes me come alive?
That's so good.
Baseball, talk show, acting. Yeah. That looks fun. That's how kids are thinking. That looks fun. I like it. I love it. I'm passionate about it. Not any of the other stuff that we limit ourselves by.
Right.
I love it.
That's so good.
I love what's happened with you. I love your story. I love your journey. I love hosting a podcast with you.
This is so much fun.
Swapping seats for a time. And I just thought it was important. We were talking about that, and it was like, obviously this is a huge move. You've taken risk after risk, chance after chance.
Yeah.
You're like 66. I'm going to go acting school. I'm going to start a YouTube channel and do, like, who does that?
That's right.
An older gentleman who remembered his dreams as a kid.
Come on.
And let his dreams drive him and bring him back to life. When you thought you were almost dead, they brought you back to life. And that's what we want for all these guys. Right. For the next third to be the best third. Maybe you need to go back to your first third and remember who you were as a kid.
Yeah, I love that.
Is there anything you wanted to say?
No, I'm so glad that you decided to do this, that we went this, but as you were saying that, I mean, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to be in this place.
It's awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Guys, you're witnessing the power of redemption.
Yeah.
You're witnessing restoration right on your screen. And it's something you can receive because it's real. It's not a concept. It's a life.
That's right.
And it can become yours.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
So glad you got to hear a little bit of this side of David.
Yeah, that was not planned. This was a surprise.
No, this was totally off the cuff. So
anyway.
Subscribe to the channel so you can receive more and you can keep going. Like this, share this, subscribe to this channel because you need more content like this. If you're a man that's had life hit you upside the head and knock you down and beat you down and try to take you out, this is the content you need. Subscribe to this so you get notifications. Ring the little bell so it tells you when David's on here, and it tells you follow his social media and stuff like that. Get in here because, there's that one thing. There's that one thing that says, what's the quote? What does the world need? Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who are truly alive. And that's what you're seeing right here. That's what this show is a manifestation of.
That's so good.
Is a person coming back to life. And that's what we want for you.
Amen.
That's what you want for you down in there.
That's what we want for all of you.
Yeah.
So good. Come on, bro.
Come on. So fun to be here.
So glad.
Me too. We'll see you guys next time.
It's so good.
Bye.
That was awesome.